Welcome to the franchise. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. Over there's Logan Adair, and we're here to talk about Miss Congeniality via a request from all-time classic franchise listener P. Kyle Padovano, the great. All right, what a life he's had. Have you been in contact with him lately?
I talked to him about these. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know how much of his dirty laundry I want to air on the mic, but holy shit, Kyle! Glad you're out there. Glad you're safe, and I'm excited for you to hear this podcast. All right. Listen, Miss Congeniality. It's been in the air of the franchise for a while. It's amazing that we never covered it under Henry, under Henry's reign as co-host, because he's a Sandy B fan, right?
Yes.
And I feel like there were other elements of this movie that he would enjoy.
Like what?
Fuck, you put me on the spot now. But I guess I put my. Oh, I was gonna say because he makes lots of Michael Caine impressions.
Whoa. Oh, I thought you. Okay, yeah, you're right. What
yeah.
else?
Well, just those two things. He wants to fuck Sandra Bullock, and anytime Michael Caine comes
I feel like he's talked a lot about Candice Bergen. Am I wrong about that?
I think you're wrong about that. I feel like maybe I've talked more about her because I watched every episode of Murphy Brown.
Okay. I thought I've heard like he sort of had a thing for Candice Bergen.
He could have, man. She was something in the 70s. Did you know that she hosted Saturday Night Live like 15 times?
No. Is he also a Trekkie?
Henry? I don't think so.
Am I wrong about that?
Yeah.
He's never seen Star Trek?
I mean, I'm sure he's seen it, but I wouldn't refer to him as a Trekkie.
I just wanted to say Trekkie, to be honest.
Because William Shatner's in the movie?
Mm-hmm.
The Shat and the Brat together at last.
There we go.
Am I right?
By the way, I wanted to start the episode by saying aloha, but then you sort of like asked me a question and we moved on.
Sorry.
That was going to be my bit.
That's a good bit because there's a convo about that. I thought Sandra Bullock was being an asshole in that scene. Because, like,
she was just sort of trying to move the conversation along because there was tension.
You know when people are saying aloha, meaning goodbye or hello, based on context clues. I feel like she's being a nitpicky little bastard.
No, she was just trying to, like, diffuse the drama, the tension.
Well, she did it better a second later by doing that fake praying on the floor.
Yeah.
That was good.
We don't have to talk about that much.
Okay. Well, Miss Congeniality, let's get into it. I've got all kinds of fun...
Miss Congeals.
I've got a lot of fun facts about this feature film, Logan.
Yeah, like what?
How about this? The director. Let's start with him. Donald Petrie. He didn't enter into the picture until 7 weeks before filming Miss Congeniality because they had a different director and he wanted to make it spoofy. And Sandra Bullock said, "No, I want this to be my lethal weapon." And they got Donald Petrie to do it.
I think amazing call by Sandra Bullock.
Great. Well, she was the producer of the film. All right. So she was handling biz.
Okay.
Donald Petrie, pretty reputable director. Got to start with Mystic Pizza. It's a movie I watched a lot when I was a kid. I think because my sister had it on a lot. And followed that up with Opportunity Knocks with Dana Carvey. Not very well remembered. But he's directed quite a lot of shit. Grumpy Old Men. How about that? Did not return for the sequel to that. Did not return to the sequel for this.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Richie Rich. All right.
If we're going back and forth, I'm out. No, I'm out.
All right. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days was kind of his last hit. Like the Miss Congeniality and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days was probably like the height of this dude's career. And then he followed that up with Welcome to Mooseport, which was so bad that Gene Hackman quit acting. And then Just My Luck, which was a Lindsay Lohan failure. And then finally, My Life in Ruins. And after that, my friend, his career was in ruins.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. You're so predictable these days.
What? Hey.
I'm kidding.
Man, you just made me question my entire life.
I knew I was going to. That's why I said that.
Damn it. All right. So he's our director. The script was by 3 people, Katie Ford and Karen Lucas. I don't know a lot about them. I know that Katie Ford's a lesbian, and I know that she writes mostly TV. Okay? But Mark Lawrence, he fucking took this to the bank. because he became a director after this.
Yeah, and he wrote 18 Sandra Bullock films.
Yeah, and lots of Hugh Grants as well.
Yeah.
All right, sometimes together.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because after this one, well, he got his start. He'd like been around a long time. He wrote for Family Ties in like the 80s, but we don't have to talk about that too much. But he after that, Life with Mikey, and then he was like a failed sitcom creator. He created like 2 shows in the 90s that tanked. I don't even think they made it past like an episode or 2. And so this was his breakout success, Miss Congeniality. He followed it up by writing and directing 2 Weeks Notice. All right? A rom-com with Hugh and Sandy B. And I gotta say, Logan, pretty good.
Better or worse than this?
Better.
I feel like you don't like this that much.
Well, I only don't because it's pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's kind of a shitty movie. But we'll get into why.
Yeah, we will.
He also wrote and directed Music and Lyrics with Hugh and Drew Barrymore. Hugh and Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's how they promoted that. Hugh and Drew.
They had to have.
They must have. All right. And then, did you hear about the Morgans?
No, tell me about them.
No, that's the title of the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never heard about him.
It's him and SJP. All right.
Who's him? Hugh Grant?
Hugh. It's always Hugh.
No, okay.
Yeah. Most recently, he wrote and directed Noelle, which was a Christmas film with Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader. Did you
I think
see that?
she's like Santa Claus, right? She's like a woman Santa Claus.
Well, they're both wearing Santa Claus outfits on the cover.
Who's both of them?
Her and Hader.
They're both Santa Claus?
On the cover, anyway.
Okay, I gotta watch that.
All right.
Maybe this Christmas I'll watch it. Check it out.
Yeah, so the only thing he's written, like, since Miss Congeniality that he didn't also direct is Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous.
Right.
Yeah, which we'll get into about halfway through this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Congeniality. So when Donald sorry, I just said the title of the movie. So when Donald Petrie became involved, the movie was already cast for the most part. All right, they already had Bullock and Michael Caine attached, and so he was like, "Fine, I'll direct that."
Yeah, right. By the way, I went through because we sort of talked yesterday about Sandra Bullock, her filmography, and she's worked with like 2 of the best, or not 2 of the best, 2 of the top 50 directors ever, and that's it. And I think that's pretty crazy because I think she's one of the best movie stars we've had of the last 20 or 30 years.
Well, she doesn't take risks, pretty much. I mean, other than like Gravity and Crash, I guess, if you want to give her that one. But she mostly produces her own shit, and they're always like family affairs. She puts like whoever her boyfriend is at the time in all of them, and like she just doesn't. She's not aiming for art. She's aiming for commerce. So like, I don't think like major directors really give a shit about working with her.
Yeah, well,
who are the directors you're referring to? I assume one of them's Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, Cuarón, and I have never seen this movie, and it might be a bad movie, but the director I love, Peter Bogdanovich, made a movie, The Thing Called Love, and she's in it.
I got news for you. That's a fucking terrible Peter Bogdanovich movie.
Okay, well, I was just looking at I wrote him down though. DeBont, David Gordon Green, whom you love, but
he's not. Oh, right, Our Brand is Crisis, one of his worst movies. Yeah,
John Turteltaub, Joel Schumacher, Richard Attenborough, Paul Feig, Gary Ross, John Lee Hancock, Anne Fletcher, Paul Haggis.
Yeah, a lot of those.
A few actors, Kevin Bacon and Forrest Whitaker. That's weird.
A lot of those people are like not untalented, but they just kind of put out Hollywood product.
Griffin Dunn, you know who that is?
Yeah, he's an actor.
He's an actor, but he also
directed
movies.
Addicted to Love with Matthew Broderick and Meg Ryan. I know that off the top of my head.
She's in 2 of his movies. Elisa Picard is famous, something like that. And then Practical Magic. She's in both of those Griffin Dunn movies. So yeah, pretty weird. I made a list.
Practical Magic. That's pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I made a list of a few directors I think she should work with. All right.
I'd love to hear this list.
5 directors you should hit up. All right. Make a movie.
Slide into their DMs.
Slide into their DMs. Number one, David Fincher. All right, I think she can do either a Gone Girl or a Panic Room. Either make her like a mom in a movie, like a great thriller, or like a psycho wife lady, or just something
I can
else.
see Psycho Wife Lady. She couldn't hold her own in a like Zodiac.
I didn't say Zodiac. I
All right.
said Panic Room.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. And then next, Michael Mann. Because another thing I noticed looking at all these
Well,
movies,
Michael Mann does like to make shitty actors good, like Sharon
What?
Stone.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Whatever. You think she's shitty, Sandra Bullock?
I think she's a great movie star.
I think she's really good
Okay.
sometimes. Not The Blind Side. Fucking stupid. That's
Holy
stupid. That's
shit,
the one
dude.
she won her award for. That's really stupid.
I love that she's like the Oscars mostly recognize her for The Blind Side and Crash, two of her worst movies ever.
Gravity. She was nominated for Gravity.
Was she?
She was nominated for Gravity.
The only thing that should have been nominated in that movie is Spinny Camera.
I actually have the awards pull up. She lost to Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine.
Good.
Also nominated Amy Adams for American Hustle, Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County.
Well, August Osage County, I didn't see, but other than that, she's the worst performance in that category.
All right, and then the year she won, this is who she was nominated against: Helen Mirren again for The Last Station. All right, Meryl Streep for Julie and Julia again, Carey Mulligan for An Education, and then whoever played Precious. I can't say.
How
Gabourey
dare you,
Sidibe.
Gabourey Sidibe? Yeah. Listen, I mean that's a pretty weak category.
Seems like a weak. Yeah, it seems really weak. Yeah,
but I would give it to Mulligan.
wow, Mulligan.
Yeah, that's a good movie in Education.
All right. Well, the reason I say Michael Mann is Michael Mann always makes movies about people who are like really good at their jobs. It's like a cop or like a gambler, or hacker, or
Yeah.
whatever this is. And she's always that. She's always like someone who's really good at her. Someone who's like fed up at their job. But
I would
really
argue that
good.
she's terrible at her job in Miss Congeniality.
All right, fine. But she's usually like cranky, someone who's fed up with their job, like in all of her movies, and she's basically that type of character. I
No,
feel like
that
she could
is
do
what
well
our
with that.
brand is. Crisis is. She's just like a crisis
The
management
Proposal,
lady.
she's just like a manager who's like annoyed, can't get a guy, so she hires like her assistant or whatever.
I didn't
She's always
see
like
that,
the same.
man. I can't sit through
never
a
saw that?
Bullock and Ryan Reynolds movie.
I could at the time. All right, next up, Steven Sods. Obviously, he would do something great with her, probably. Right?
Well, they kind of work together, right? Ocean's 8.
he didn't do that,
Yeah, but you know, he was there in spirit.
and she's good in that.
Yeah, she's all right in that.
Yeah. All right. Who's the lead? Is that her or Kate Blanchett?
I think she's the lead. I think she's the ocean.
Is she
I think
the-
Kate Blanchett's the Rusty.
Okay. All right. Next up on my list, speaking of what's her face? Yeah, anyway.
Who you got?
What's
Sidibe?
Carey Mulligan.
Carey Mulligan.
Was she in First Man?
No. Was she? I don't remember
Who's the
anybody
wife
being
in
in the
First Man?
not
Carey Mulligan?
I don't think it's her, but it's
Then who is it?
someone. It's
If you don't think it's her, tell me who.
God, I have no memory.
Because in my mind it's her, but maybe I'm wrong. I think she should work with Damien Chazelle.
Yeah, why wasn't she in that Babylon, huh?
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but in all his other 3 movies, he's been really successful with actors.
The female lead of First Man is Claire Foy from The Crown.
That was pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. All right, I'm sorry about that, Carrie. And then last on my list, I think she should team back up with Steve. I'm talking Bradley Cooper and being whatever Bradley Cooper's making next.
Oh yeah, all about Steve. You know, she gave him that role. That was like she shepherded that project.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
that's pretty embarrassing.
I know. I once heard an interview with I don't even remember who it was, but it was some comedian who had a part in All About Steve, and they said like Sandra Bullock felt like one scene wasn't funny enough, so what she did was she just put she had to walk across a room in the scene, and she put like a lot of obstacles in the room for her to fall over, because that's funny. And I thought about that in Miss Congeniality, because when she gets home to her apartment at the beginning of the movie, she falls over a bunch of stuff, and then I read in the IMDb trivia of Miss Congeniality that was improvised.
When in doubt, fall over. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was one of her bits.
She fucking
Is
loves it. She loves falling over shit.
I gotta see the heat. I bet that's just falling all over the place. In that
Dude,
movie.
but it's mostly the other one. You know, she's got like a fat lady involved, so she falls
Right,
over
but
more
she doesn't
shit.
fall either. I'm sure they're both falling.
They probably both fall. You're right.
That'd be great.
You never saw The Heat?
I saw some of it, but no, not really.
That's worth seeing once.
Yeah, McCarthy was sort of. She made like The Heat, Spy. There were like a few that I just sort of missed there in the middle.
Those were like the only watchable ones.
I know. I saw Identity Thief though.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, you saw the wrong ones. You were like, I'll see Identity Thief and Tammy.
Life of the Party,
Yeah.
Tammy. I'll see those.
Yeah,
I actually didn't see Life of the Party or Tammy.
you should, man.
I think I was like really into Jason Bateman. He was like my guy.
I guess so. You should check out Dodgeball.
I've seen that.
All right, so I'll tell you one thing Donald Petrie did: recast the male lead.
Yeah, who was he?
It was going to be Matt Dillon.
All right.
They had Matt Dillon all cast up. I'll tell you what, Hugh Jackman came pretty close too. He was in the running. But Matt Dillon, he wanted them to beef up his part to be like equal to Sandy B. And Petrie was like, Sandy B's the star of this motherfucker. I'm looking for a supporting actor. So let's find somebody from TV. Ben Bratt. Boom!
Yeah, what's he doing?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what Ben Bratt was doing. He was fucking Julia Roberts at the time, and that's why he was getting high-profile roles.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that nepotism or no?
It's a form of it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So he was on Law and Order for a couple of years, and then started fucking Julia Roberts and getting good roles, and then he left Julia Roberts for the lady that played Sindel in Mortal Kombat. and then he stopped getting good roles.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But he had a leg up on the competition because he had worked with Sandy B before. Because he plays one of the police officers in Demolition Man.
Ooh, I noticed her other guy was in like, one of her earlier movies too.
What other guy?
Whoever's in that.
I noticed
movie.
that too. Yeah, that rando dude from the second movie popped up in Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she just like, if she recognizes somebody, she's like, I guess cast that guy.
Yeah, it is. She does work with a lot of same people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why she doesn't experiment with these directors you're talking about. It's like it puts her off balance.
Mm-hmm.
Although she does like to be off balance, she falls down a lot.
Good job. Another thing about Sandra Bullock is like since she made it big in the 90s, she's taken off a whole bunch of years. 2001, 2008, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019 and 2020.
She doesn't feel the need to work all the time. And also her personal life is always a mess. So like,
oh really? I never hear anything about Sandra Bullock.
What are you talking about? Remember when she was dating Jesse James?
What? No.
Like he was like a motorcycle guy, like an American Chopper or something like that. I knew him because he was on The Celebrity Apprentice twice. But he cheated on her with Kat Von D.
Okay, and who's that?
She's like a famous tattoo artist. What, you never watched LA Ink before?
No, I'm an Ink Master boy through and through.
Oh my god. Well, I'm sure she's shown up on Ink Master. I'm certain of it.
We gotta find that up.
They probably both have Jesse James and Kat Von D.
You think at the same time as a couple?
Could be.
If separately, that'd be kind of
Well, I think like pretty quickly after that, he cheated on Kat Von D with somebody. He's like a serial cheater. I think he just did this recently. He was dating like a porn star and cheated on her.
Who? Which one?
I think
Riley Reid?
I want to say Bonnie Rotten. You know her?
I've heard the name, yeah.
She's got big spider web tattoos right on her boobs.
I'm less familiar now. I don't know that.
Well, you're not watching enough.
Remember they got the Birdman on Ink Master, Chris Anderson from the Miami Heat. I think the Heat at the time.
He's the Birdman.
Oh yeah, they call him the Birdman.
Or can I call him the
Larry
unexpected virtue of ignorance?
Yeah, you can call him that all you want.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great. All right. So this film was released December 22nd, the year 2000, pre 9/11 release. I saw it in the theaters. very happily. I don't remember who I saw it with. Probably my family. Like I'm sure we were all psyched for this fucking movie.
Your sister, she was it her thing?
Probably, maybe my mom.
Yeah, she was into Sandy B.
Yeah, sure. Everyone was.
Yeah, you're
You know, the first Sandy B movie I ever saw was fucking Speed, and
oh, how original.
no, I mean it's not original, but I saw it on the basis my parents went to go see it one night, and I was like 8 years old, and then like the next day they came home and they were like, "That movie we saw last night was rated R, but it only for like a couple swear words, and we think you'd really like it." And they took me to see it. They saw it again with me because they thought I'd like it. How about that? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't even remember why it would deserve an R rating.
It's like one of the only nice things my parents like ever did for me back then.
And there's no like crazy murders, right? It's all like bus stuff.
Well, he does get decapitated at the end.
Who? Which one?
Hopper.
Hopper?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember they're like on top of that subway car, and like Keanu Reeves holds him up and his head hits something.
No, but that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. This was made for $45 million on the old budget, and it was a huge hit, Logan. It made $212.8 million.
Whoa.
The number 21 film of the year 2000, coming in between Chicken Run with Nazi sympathizer Mel Gibson and Gone in 60 Seconds with
I also
Giovanni
thought she worked
Ribisi.
with Jolie could direct her probably in something. That could be good.
Jolie?
Yeah.
Can direct her?
Yeah.
And you
maybe.
think that would be good?
I mean, maybe.
Has
I'd
she
give it
directed a
chance.
movie anyone's liked?
Unbreakable. What's that movie
Oh
called?
yeah, and that has a sequel.
Unbroken.
Unbroken. Yeah, we have to cover
sequel?
that. Yes.
Is that a true story? They made a sequel?
Yeah, they fucking made a sequel to that.
All right.
Everything is sequel bait now, man. I mean, I assume she like probably produced but didn't direct. I don't know.
United 94. What if they?
Holy shit! Do it. I'd watch it.
That'd be great.
And Mark Wahlberg's on the plane this time, and he's gonna fucking take care of things. All right. Awards. Can you believe this movie was nominated for awards?
Absolutely, that makes sense.
You can?
Oh yeah.
What awards do you think it was nominated for?
Ooh, probably all of them.
You think Oscars?
Oh yeah.
No.
Saturn.
No Oscars.
Kids Choice Awards.
No.
MTV.
No, all the ones you said are wrong.
Oh, so what was it nominated for?
Golden
Saturn?
Globes, Teen Choice, and Blockbuster Entertainment Awards.
Ooh. Whatever happened to that Blockbuster book you had?
It's a good question. It's probably
New
with
York.
all my shit in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a shout out to Brooklyn in that first movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I wonder if D-Train like misses that, like really triggered him. He missed Brooklyn in that moment.
No, I was like, fuck Brooklyn. What was it?
It was when Melissa D'Souza gets eliminated from the
yeah.
pageant, and she's like, shout out to Brooklyn.
No, to be honest, I felt a little bit of pride there because I was all excited about her because I love her in The Best Man.
I didn't even know her a month ago, and now I've seen 4 of her things.
Yeah, you're right. She's
my
everywhere
favorite.
for you now.
Yeah.
All right, Golden Globes. Let's talk about it. Nominated for 2.
It's the GGs, the Golden Globes. It's the Hollywood Foreign Press, mostly French.
How about Sandra Bullock for Best Actress in a Comedy?
Yeah, okay.
How do you think she did?
I bet she got a second place.
Well, we don't know the placements, but she lost.
I do.
She lost to Renee Zellweger for Neil LaBute's Nurse Betty.
Oh, all right.
An out-of-the-box choice for the Globes. I enjoyed it. And then it was nominated for Best Song of the Year. Now, are you wondering which song it was?
I can guess. You think I'm sexy. You wanna kiss me. That song?
No, but did you know that also was improvised by Sandra Bullock?
No.
Yes.
way.
Yes. One of the most memorable parts of the movie.
I sort of like it at first. Then she does it at the end, and I wasn't as into it.
Same. And then when it comes back in the sequel, I want to kill myself.
Yep, you're exactly right. Every time, there's no need for it. It's pretty cute the first time, and then every time after that, it's very unnecessary.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure it was improvised the first time, and that's why it's good. And then, like, they were like, do it again at the end.
Do you think? Oh, okay. You think they made her do it again?
Probably. So no, that was not the song that was nominated. Frankly, it should have been the best song in the movie, which is the Miss United States pageant song sung by William Shatner at the end.
Oh, that's funny. I like what. Yeah, he's really committed to that. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's the best part of the entire movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fun.
But no, it was this song "One in a Million," which sort of like sounds like a boy band, and it's like when they're being introduced, the 50, contestants.
God.
Yeah,
Alright.
it sucks. I remember thinking when I heard that song, like they should have like a special musical guest here, like at the
Right.
beginning of the pageant performing a song, right? Because I got news for you, Logan. In 2013, I watched the Miss America pageant.
Yeah, it's probably like Adam Levine or something.
No, it was better than that. Florida Georgia Line featuring Nelly performing Cruise live at the Miss
that's
America
good.
pageant. Incredible.
A night to remember. That's really like a
Unforgettable.
time, like a time and a place.
Yeah. A great time
Great.
and a great place.
Yeah.
I know it's not Miss America in this, it's Miss US. So they didn't have the rights to use the real pageant name. Now I want to clue your attention to something. Donald Trump owns the Miss America pageant, or did at this time. So, like, did they have negotiations with Donald? Did Sandy P ask Donald if she could be involved in the Miss America pageant, and he turned her down? No, my pageant would never have 30-year-olds in it.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe that happened. All right. Maybe he wanted final approval on all the girls cast. I want to cast them.
Right, let's not think about this. That makes me sad.
Come on. All right. So that's the Golden Globes. Oh, sorry. That song lost to Bob Dylan for Wonder Boys.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Things have changed. I think that also won the Oscar that year. Teen Choice Awards.
It's the Teen Choice Award.
Won 2 of those, okay? Best Comedy of the Year.
Won it straight up.
Straight up won.
Wow.
All right. And also Best Wipeout, which is the best scene in a movie where a character falls down.
That one when she's in her apartment and falls for 1 second?
No. I think it's when she
on stage and she makes that big fall. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Also, Bullock nominated for Best Actress, but I'm so sorry. She lost to Julia Stiles for Save the Last Dance.
Okay. All right. Should I watch that? Is that worth watching?
No, that is honestly, people. I liked it at the time. I liked it at the time when it came out, and I rewatched it for my rewatch project like 3-4 years ago, and it is one of the most offensive movies I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, offensive in what way?
It's so fucking racist.
Wow. All right.
It is. I mean, that movie's indefensible today. If please try to defend Save the Last Dance to me. I'd love to hear what you sound like.
Well, I love Julia. Was The Last Dance saved? Can I ask that?
Yeah, it was. She did a little hip hop dance with her black boyfriend.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, and then Candice Bergen was also nominated for Best Sleazebag, which is their best villain category, and she lost to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for his 3-minute role in The Mummy Returns.
Wow, he was a sleazebag?
He was the Scorpion King, man.
I know. I didn't find him that sleazebaggy, though. He's just doing his job, doing what he's there to do.
Yeah, what about when he turns into a giant scorpion at the end, though, and tries to kill him?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's doing his job.
I mean,
I don't know what his job is.
Being the Scorpion King.
Can't turn that down.
I mean, you can.
Then you're just a big scorpion guy walking through the desert lonely?
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Yeah, I know you would.
Whatever. But listen, that's how huge The Rock was as a wrestler. Like, that was his first movie role. He's barely in the fucking thing, and he won an award for it.
He probably won the ESPY that year, too. Best wrestler.
Could have, yeah. I don't know if the ESPYs were recognizing wrestlers back then.
Or what? Do the WWE actually have their own awards?
Yeah, they do. They have the Slammies.
The Slammies. That might not have been around back then.
I don't think that's around now, but that was around for a period of years.
Yes, I watched them for a little bit.
Sure. All right, the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. We used to cover that show, I think. So let's do it now. Sandra Bullock won Best Actress in a Comedy, no contest. All right.
Mhm.
Ben Bratt won Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy.
Wow.
All right. Candice Bergen, unfortunately, lost Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy. Now, she lost to Sherry O'Terry for the movie Scary Movie. And I don't remember Sherry O'Terry being in that movie.
Who's Sherry O'Terry?
Oh, Logan.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, you're a big Scary Movie fan. You should know this.
I don't know Sherry O'Terry.
She was
I love Scary
She was a
Movie.
Saturday Night Live cast member at the time. Do you remember the classic cheerleader sketches with Will Ferrell?
No, I'm not a big SNL guy.
Well, she was the other cheerleader.
And she's in Scary Movie.
Apparently.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. She is the she's like a news reporter, I think. And she's doing like the news when they do, it's like a Blair Witch ripoff. Someone like died, they take the camera and they go off and die, and there's snot going everywhere.
Sure.
Something
She won an award for that.
All right.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the stats there on Miss Congeniality. Let's talk about the movie.
Yeah.
Opens on a flashback, which was apparently cut down in the.
I always like when movies open like this, when like the main character is a little kid and you get to see like their attitude as a little kid. I
don't really think it informed much of the movie, though.
What are you talking about? It informs her that like she's like a pricky little girl. She sticks up for what she believes in. She's like a no nonsense type of character. I thought we got a lot. And then she likes the boy, but the boy like turns on her and she's like, "What? I don't like you." And then she like, "Fine, you loser." I thought we got a lot there.
All right, yeah, maybe you're right.
It reminded me of Broadcast News or Sweet Home Alabama.
I always conflate those two in my mind: Broadcast News and Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't like the scene, and apparently it was supposed to set up that she has a mom that was killed in the line of duty in the FBI, but then they never even bring that up in this entire movie.
Wait, that's mentioned in the first movie?
Yeah, it's not mentioned, but it was in the original script, and they cut it out, and then they brought it back in the second movie.
Yeah, in the second movie, I heard about it. I didn't remember that. Okay, but I guess it's not in the first movie.
Yeah, apparently there's one trace of that subplot in the movie. At one point, they walk by a wall of like FBI agents, and if you look closely, one of them's her mom.
Wow, it's like The Shining. Like he's been in the photo. Like her mom's been a part of the department the whole time, and they didn't
she's
even
been part of the franchise the whole time, and we didn't even know until 2005.
Who plays her mom in the photo? Do we see that?
I don't know.
Sherry O'Terry.
I would love it if it was Sandra Bullock with old age makeup, like she has in the second movie.
Yeah, that would be great too.
She does a great Jewish voice when she does.
Oh, really?
That,
I guess I didn't think about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's not great. All right. So after the flashback, we get her undercover, and it's sort of, I think it's supposed to look like the scene in The Godfather where fucking Al Pacino takes the gun from the bathroom. Isn't it sort of like the exact same setup?
All right. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But it's the Russian mob in this, and she's watching them through a little.
Can I bring something up we
camera
never brought up in El Mariachi?
Please.
The moment that is pretty meaningless, but where the guy at the beginning of El Mariachi goes to go poop in the diner. And then he has to go into the bathroom and kill that extra like straggler guy who went to go poop. I like that. I like that little detail.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Right, I didn't mention that, but I like that.
Sort of like the beginning of Buffalo 66, where he just has to take a piss for the first like 15 minutes of that movie.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. All right, so the Russian mob. Ben Bratt's outside being a homeless guy.
Let's call him by his character name, Eric Matthews.
You mean Agent Eric Matthews?
Yeah.
How many fucking Eric Matthewses are we going to come across on this show?
3. Well, on the show, 2, I guess.
So, Eric Matthews, of course, primarily in I would think most people's brains.
Yeah. When you look up the name, it's mostly, yeah.
It's Will Friedle, the older brother from Boy Meets World. Come on, everyone knows that.
Yeah, everybody.
I'm surprised Jesse James hasn't cheated on that Maitland Ward yet.
What, with him?
No, just she
Eric
was that
Matthews?
Boy Meets World lady that became a porn star. All
Uh,
right, but that's Eric Matthews. Okay, then what was the other movie we saw it in?
Saw 2, Saw 3.
It's
maybe
Donnie
Saw 4.
Wahlberg's character, right?
Yes.
Donnie Wahlberg in the Saw franchise plays another Eric Matthews, an officer Eric Matthews. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And now we're finding out that's the third Eric Matthews, because between Boy Meets World and that, there's this Miss Congeniality featuring Agent Eric Matthews, Ben Bratt.
Yeah, I had no idea. As shocked as you were to find out that there was an Eric Matthews in Saw, I was just as shocked in this one. And I didn't notice I didn't look it up or anything. I didn't notice the first 20 minutes in the movie. I noticed in the scene with Michael Caine in the restaurant. He's like, yeah, I'm Eric Matthews. And I was like, whoa, did they say that? They definitely did not say that beforehand. I definitely would have noticed that.
Hey,
but,
when Ben Bratt is backing away from Michael Caine in that scene, is that gay panic?
oh,
I couldn't even figure out what they were going for in that scene.
I couldn't either, and I sort of thought he might be the bad guy because it was so random. He was like, "I got some business to take care of. You guys just eat.
Right,
I gotta
right.
go." I thought it was really random.
No,
I
I
thought he was
think
the
we were
villain.
just. I think he was just terrified because Michael Caine's gay. But then,
Oh.
but here's what confused me. Then, the very next scene, they're on an airplane together, and Ben Bratt is trying to get Michael Caine's, attention as he's walking by him on the plane, and to do so, he gives him a little pat on the ass.
Oh,
I don't. If he was so terrified of gayness one scene earlier, why is he now comfortable touching a gay man's butt?
Maybe you were reading into the gay panic thing. Maybe he had to go pick up dry cleaning or something.
I have no idea what that scene was, man.
Yeah, I didn't either.
All right.
That
So
makes sense.
let's go back to the Russian mob. Sandy B fucks up this whole operation, right? She's terrible. She falls for this Russian guy feigning a heart attack, tries to save him, or not even a heart attack. He feigns like he's choking on something. And she tries to save him, but he wasn't at all, and he puts a gun to her head. Anyway, they get out of the situation.
Well, she gets one of her members shot.
That's right. She fucking does get one of her guys shot. By the way, another one of her guys gets shot at the beginning of the second movie. She's fucking terrible at this.
It all comes around. She busted the bad guys.
I mean, at the pageant, I guess.
That's what it's all about.
Well, I mean, that is what the movie is all about. You're right. All right. So she's not very well respected as an FBI agent. That's what we're supposed to be. First of all, she's a woman.
Yeah.
And this movie's got a real problem with those things.
Well, it's 2000.
Yeah, I know. It is just a different time. But, I mean, what about that scene where they're, dressing up all their female colleagues in, bikinis on the internet?
That's supposed to be, over the top, though, right?
I mean, but she seems fine with it.
She's really
this is just the thing. This is the
it.
thing that happens, whatever.
I thought she was these fucking losers.
No, the only one that seemed really mad at it was Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Fuck you. Winston. Yeah. But on the way to the FBI that morning, she's got a first stop at Starbucks, bro, for some great product placement. We get a nice shot of the Starbucks logo, a full view of the store. All the Starbucks employees in that scene were real Starbucks employees. How about that? And then she names a lot of different drinks that are on the menu, because that's the bit, is she's ordering a lot for the FBI. And at the end, she orders a Starbucks compilation CD.
Wow. Well, the other bit is she rushes through the Starbucks. She's coming through, FBI work, coming through, and you think it's some serious business. And then she's yeah, I'd like a mocha grande with the extra frappuccino, whatever.
Extra frappuccino.
Whatever you say it. But that's the supposed to be funny part, right?
Which one? Yeah, which one of the FBI agents do you think ordered the Starbucks compilation CD?
I bet that's Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, man, he was just I wonder if any Nora Jones is on there. Let me check that out. You want to talk about more product placement? Because I've got more notes on it.
Yeah, what? I didn't really notice that much.
How about when she goes to the bar after work and Ben Bratt's there with a sexy lady, and she, from the bartender, asks him if she could get some Ben and Jerry's. I've never heard of ordering like a pint of ice cream at a bar before, and I've spent quite a lot of time in bars, but she does it. And to set it up, we get a nice, huge, full screen close up of the Ben and Jerry's pint.
Okay, but she doesn't say Ben and Jerry's. She just says. I thought it was actually kind of funny how they played it. She says, "Yeah, I'd like a pint," and he thinks she's ordering a beer, but then he comes out and gives her the thing, and he's like, "Oh, it's just ice cream."
But it's a full close up. The entire
what flavor? Did you
I
notice?
just bought a 55
late night Jimmy Fallon flavor.
No, it was like cookie dough or something. I just bought a 55-inch TV, Logan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm rolling in it.
Yeah.
So and the entire screen, all 55 inches, was that Ben and Jerry pint.
Every inch,
baby.
Wow, you gotta watch Avatar: The Way of Water on that baby.
I will when it's available to watch. I'm not going to see that bullshit in theaters.
No, I said watch it on the TV.
I'm going to. All right. So the Miss United States pageant, that's the premise of the movie. There might be there's like threats to it, right?
Yeah, there's like this thing called the Citizen, but the Citizen's not even like the bad guy. It's just they're using this character called the Citizen to masquerade and like do their own little ploys as like in secret, something like that.
Yeah, I guess. But so they have to go in undercover to the Miss US pageant to make sure nobody blows it up or anything. All right. And it comes very close to blowing up, but they save the day. So we meet Candace Bergen, who's in charge of shit over there.
We'll talk about her when we do book club and book club 2.
Oh my god,
the next chapter.
I can't wait. I can't wait. It's something like that. Then we've got William Shatner. They're like the co-hosts of the pageant, but they also seem to be in charge of the pageant, which I don't think is how things work really, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I gotta say William Shatner is my MVP of this film.
Oh, that's a good MVP. I like that.
Yeah, I thought he was the best. He's the only one who never annoyed me in the entire movie.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. What else you got? So give me more of the setup. What happens here?
Well, Miss New Jersey drops out because she was in a porno.
But right? Miss New Jersey didn't drop. This pissed me off. And
they kick her out?
Yeah, they get her kicked out because they need Sandra Bullock to have an open slot in the competition.
Oh, that's just a cover up? That's not real?
No, it's real, but no one would have ever known, bro. But the FBI gets her in trouble so that she gets kicked out of the pageant and Sandy B owns because Miss New Jersey had appeared in a porn called Armageddon or something like that.
Armageddon on, yeah.
Armageddon on.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think they do with those animal crackers now?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure we could find out. I'm sure there is one called Armageddon on.
Yeah. So Bullock is going to be Miss New Jersey. And at first we think, how's she going to be Miss New Jersey? She's so ugly.
So ugly.
Sandra
She's got
Bullock
glasses.
And her hair tangled.
It's so tangled up, yeah.
Yeah. And she falls down a lot. And she's got ketchup on her shirt.
Yeah, right.
All right.
I thought that was kind of dumb. Yeah, there is a moment where they're like, I forgot what they said, but there's what'd they say? If you weren't like a sloppy eater, how did you get ketchup on your shirt? But there's definitely a way like you could pick up a French fry and drop ketchup on your shirt, like between plate to mouth or like a hamburger, anything. You could drop ketchup on you without being a messy eater, I feel like.
They also keep saying she has meat in between her teeth, but we never see any real evidence of it.
Yeah, I feel like that's true,
yeah. Michael Caine, he gets one look at this lady. He's like, this is going to be the greatest challenge of my career, making Sandra Bullock look pretty.
That's a terrible Michael Caine.
Yeah, I know. I did it like an Australian Michael Caine.
We should get Henry to like phone, like leave you a voicemail.
Ooh,
like,
maybe we still can.
I don't know. I thought Michael Caine was good. I thought he might be your MVP.
Michael Caine, for too much of the movie, he's just calling her ugly and shit. Like, and
He
then
believes in her.
But I think the turn is unearned, though. Like, it came out of nowhere for me. There's this one scene, like, late in the movie where Michael Caine is talking to her in, like, a hotel room or something, and he's like, "You're like a daughter to me." And I'm like, what the fuck?
But he says that's why I never had kids. He said, if I had a daughter, it'd be like you. That's why I never had any kids.
But he says, like, all the women he's ever coached to be up in the pageant, and he's like in his 60s. Sandra Bullock means the most to him, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like,
Yeah,
5 minutes ago, you were shitting on her for having meat in her teeth.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. But I thought he was good as an actor. That's not his fault.
He's always good. He's Michael Caine, but I just thought the part was written poorly. So I had to go with Shat. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry, I skipped a note that I wanted to talk about. I like to clock when in movies people go, "He's right behind me, isn't he?"
Oh, I had that too. Yeah, they literally say that he's right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's like line for line or word for word. Yeah.
And I said it. I've said it before anyone said it. Like, I was watching the movie and Ernie Hudson came up behind Ben Bratt, and I said, "He's right behind me, isn't he?" And then he said,
"Yeah, he fucking nailed it." He literally says that. Yeah, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
Another part, which is like great for us because we have a show called "Hey, I'm Watching Here." They do the part where he's teaching her how to walk, and he's like, "You have to glide," and they're walking down the street, and then they almost get hit by a cab, and she says, "Hey, I'm gliding here," and then they keep walking.
That's good stuff because they're in New York, even though they're very clearly in Texas.
Oh, they shot in Texas?
Yeah, I mean,
that's so clear.
I mean, it was clear it wasn't New York. I thought it was like Vancouver or something, but then I read that they shot the whole movie in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Including, did you know? There's one scene apparently where there's like a band playing in this movie, and the person on upright bass is Robert Rodriguez in a cameo.
Whoa!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Can we talk more about the Ben Bratt character?
Yeah, I love to.
Agent Eric Matthews,
my favorite guy.
I hated this guy.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I fucking hated this guy so.
I didn't hate him.
He was a pig.
In what way?
How about the scene where he runs into Sandra Bullock in the gym and they wrestle? All right?
Yeah, okay.
He slaps her ass right at the beginning of that scene and then does it again after the wrestling match.
Yeah, you're right about that. He does do that.
Just slapping his coworker's ass twice. It's outrageous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point.
That was a different time. Logan, we were born too late. Back then, you could just touch your coworker's butt. It was fine.
How old were you?
I mean, I was like 12.
You're 14.
Wait, in 2000, I was 14.
You're 14. But then later in the movie, there's the part where she she always has a camera with her because she's always getting like all the cops have to see and stuff. And there's a moment where she's in the dressing room having to change something, and he like covers up the screen. He's like, "Come on, guys."
But that's because it's after he started to like her a little bit. That's after the "you wanna kiss me" that scene. No, he never has respect for her. I think he just like sees her in a dress at some point. He's like, "I would fuck that."
And I guess it's like a ownership thing. Like, hey, only I can do this. You guys can't look. Only I can.
Clearly, he's not that invested in this.
Like he would have looked.
In this lady, because in the second movie, which only takes place like a month after this, he's already dumping her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll get into that, I guess.
Okay. So her name's Gracie Hart.
Yep.
And
Bret Hart's kid.
No, that's that. Wait, does he have a kid? No, he just has like a niece, Natalia. She changes her name for the thing, and her fake name is Gracie Lou Freebush.
Yeah, that's good.
Why would Freebush be the name the FBI comes up with as a fake name for a pageant?
I think because it's vagina related.
And that's funny?
I think that's what they're going for, yeah.
So I'm supposed to just ignore that that's stupid and would never happen and accept it because that's such a funny joke to call someone Freebush.
I don't think you have to. I didn't. I thought it was stupid.
All right. We're also told the title of the name of this undercover operation that they're working on. Ben Bratt comes up with that name, Operation Thong.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah, is that good?
No.
Okay, so Sandy B, she gets involved in the thing, even though the top prize for this pageant is a scholarship, and Sandra Bullock looks 32 years old.
Right. It is pretty unrealistic for that, but she's in the cops. She's in the FBI. They
No one acknowledges that, but like, why don't any of the pageant girls say you're clearly a decade older than us?
I think she can pass.
You think she can pass for under 20? Like, it's a scholarship, dude.
I did look it up. I think the oldest winner was 28, by the way. I think the oldest winner
of the Miss America pageant?
Yeah. That's not to say, I guess winner means the best, so losers can be older, but
I guess she can pass for 28, maybe. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's pushing it if you're going early 20s with this.
Yeah. Well,
did you like any of the pageant princesses?
Yeah, of course. Melissa D'Souza, my favorite actor of all time.
I thought that Miss Rhode Island girl was pretty cute.
Miss Rhode Island. Oh, the one that comes back?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I liked her too. You could give her MVP in either movie, maybe. She's really consistent, really good. I liked her too.
I read that actress has been in a relationship with the guy who played Samir in Office Space since high school. They were high school sweethearts.
Wow.
And they're still together. How about that?
That's awesome.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's nice. Okay. So she's good. And
I do like, by the way, we meet Rhode Island, New York, which is D'Souza, Texas, California, Hawaii.
Shatner consistently pronounces Texas, which I love.
I didn't notice that. But I like how all of our main characters always make it to like the top 10. I always like that in movies when all the main characters move on or get selected to like be in the same group or
They
whatever.
announced the top 10 and I was like, I bet the 8 that have speaking roles are 8 of them.
And you nailed it. They're all there.
Yeah.
And then there's Nebraska for some reason.
Yeah, she's just sort of around. But Hawaii's in there too. Because she had that aloha conversation at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. California's in there. And she's like the sort of the only black lady in the cast. And I thought it was a little weird when it gets down to the top 5 and she's there and she came in 5th place.
Oh, who else are you going to leave out? Texas?
Yeah, maybe Texas.
All right.
Anyway, or Hawaii or whatever. Anyway,
I don't think she made the top 5.
Oh, well, I'm glad. She didn't deserve it. Come on. All right, so Logan, she has to take them all out to get them drunk so she can find out information, okay? But how are you going to get these ladies drunk? They're so disciplined. She brings in a pizza.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and that works out, and they end up going to like a rave, kind of.
Yeah.
And she gets some info in the bathroom.
Oh, you skipped over a good part of the movie.
Oh, please tell me.
When, obviously, iconic part of the movie, probably one of the most famous parts of the movie, they ask Rhode Island, how would you describe the perfect date? And D-Train, would you like to tell what the answer is?
April 25th, because you only have to wear a light jacket.
Yeah, it's a great answer. It's really funny.
It's apparently from a real pageant.
That really happened?
Like that's like some dumb girl in a pageant actually answered that.
That's
They
incredible.
used it in the movie. Although they changed. How about this? I know all the fun facts about Miss Congeniality. They changed the date to April 25th because it was the director's wife's birthday.
Wow.
How about that?
Great.
All right. Sandra Bullock, in trying to get them to this rave, she also does a Rain Man impression. I was very excited about that.
You're right. Also, she's trying to get information because Benjamin Bratt showed up with a photo and was like, hey, Rhode Island, kind of like your best friend here, has been like showing up at riots and stuff. She's like bad, maybe. So you gotta go like, befriend her.
Yeah, she's like an animal activist or something. So let's see if she's radical in any way. And then basically all she finds out is that her lit professor raped her in college and she didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that was very
That
sad,
was one of the weirdest lines of the movie. It's just said offhandedly, and it's like a joke.
Yeah, you're right. That is very dark.
Yeah. But it turns out Candace Bergen is the bad guy because she was getting fired from the pageant. Okay. And it also turns out that this other dude in the movie that I clocked from commercials, I was like, that dude was in a lot of commercials at the time. He played her son.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You cool with that?
Very cool with that. Love it.
Great. Is that a good twist?
That he is her son. I didn't see it coming.
Just the Candace Bergen thing. They set up early in the movie. We see like 2 cutaways to like a mysterious villain doing mysterious villain shit.
Right. Like they detonate a mannequin, right?
Yeah. And I was like, you could cut that right out of the movie.
No,
we don't
we
need
need
to. We don't need to be seeing the villains. Here's what it reminded me of: Ace Ventura. Do you remember? There's the scene in Ace Ventura where they actually kidnap the dolphin.
Oh, sure.
We don't need to see that. Just tell us the dolphin's kidnapped. All I want to see is Ace making funny faces.
But I don't think I even understood that there was going to be an explosion without that little mannequin bit. I didn't really understand what was going on.
What are you talking about? They show them working with C4 before that.
But wouldn't you say cut that out too?
Maybe keep one.
One or the other.
The other. You don't need to see the explosion and the C4 being built. Cut out the earlier one. Show us the explosion. At least that's got like some panache.
Yeah, I agree. I like that part.
Yeah. All right.
And he shows how the little device works, how he like puts it up to the crown and like does the little beep beep and then walks off.
Yeah. And so the Candace Bergen reveal happens with like 35 minutes left in the movie. So then we're just sort of like left to sit there. And the FBI...
Yeah, we've got like the whole who's going to win the thing.
Who cares?
I cared. I was rooting for Rhode Island.
I was too. But like I assumed she was going to win and she did.
Yeah. And then was saved, luckily. She didn't explode.
That scene's pretty fun. When like she's like tackling people and fuck like
doing the self-defense.
She punches Texas in the face during that. I like that.
Do you like the self-defense bit? I sort of had a question about that.
Oh right, that's her talent because she's gonna do water. She's gonna like
water whistling thing.
Yeah, what the fuck do you do on the water glasses? And that's sort of a cute bit early on, but then. What? How do they even justify this? The people backstage drank all the water.
Yeah, that was my question. Was why can't they refill the glasses? Yeah, the whole bit was like, all the ladies got thirsty. They drank the water, but
there's no time to refill. She's got to get out there on the stage, so she brings Ben Bratt out, and they do like a self-defense thing. Sing, right? What is it? Solar plexus, instep.
Knee. Oh, that's K.
No, not what's N? G is groin. I know that much. You don't know N?
I said knee. I don't know.
It's definitely, but you understand that the word knee starts with a K, right?
Yeah, it was a joke. That was a Logan's dumb joke. I thought that'd be funny to say.
Listen,
knee.
Logan. Sometimes you make Logan's dumb jokes, and sometimes you say dumb shit, and sometimes I can't tell the difference.
Or is it always Logan's dumb jokes?
Or is it always you saying dumb shit and then saving yourself by saying they're Logan's dumb jokes?
Wow, that's the question of my life.
Yeah. All right. All right, so that's basically what happens. The C4 fucking blows up. Ben Bratt, to his credit, the FBI leaves her alone because they think they already got their man, and Ben Bratt comes back to help.
Right. Yeah, that was all very stupid to me. Like, Michael Caine knew that the son was the mom's son.
The whole time.
Didn't say anything. Yeah, just offhandedly while they're leaving. It was like, oh yeah, the son. They're like, what? The son? They're like, well, yeah, by the way, that's... And he's like, that was stupid.
That was very stupid. The Michael Caine character kind of made no sense.
Yeah, you're kind of right. And he is pretty stupid. There's another part where she's like, she discovers that it's the crown, and she's like gesturing to him the crown. He's like, yes, think about the crown. You are the crown. Be the crown. It's like, what, you moron? That was
all he's thinking about in that moment is wanting her to win the pageant. You understand?
Yes, but I hated that part.
Well, I hated a lot of the parts.
I didn't dislike this as much as you. I'm gonna give it a 3. I liked it.
It's not a 3. If I saw it when I saw this in 2000, if you asked me what my grade would be out of 5, I'd probably have said a 3. But Watching it today, it's just so fucking retrograde. It's got no good jokes. Like all the jokes are, he's right behind me, isn't he? Or Sandra Bullock falling over.
I liked her
something.
relationship with the girls, though. I thought Sandra
That's
Bullock
the
was
best
good.
part of the movie. And frankly, when she comes in and gets her Miss Congeniality award at the end, and they all thank her for saving the day, that scene means something.
I was wondering, though. I was like, why is this called Miss Congeniality? And then at the end, she gets the one. Oh, that's why it's called that.
They said it. They said
There,
they did that in both movies. In the second one, at one point, someone says "armed and fabulous," and I was like, "Oh wow, it's a
they say that?
yeah.
I didn't notice that. By the way, this is the second movie we've covered with "fabulous" in the title. Do you know the other one?
We never covered, ladies and gentlemen, the Fabulous Stains.
No.
So what is it?
The Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure.
Oh God, Sharpay. Yeah, I forgot about her.
How could you forget about Sharpay?
That was a fabulous adventure. She went to New York with her dog.
She met Elvis, the guy that went on to play Elvis, Austin Butler.
That's right.
It was our MVP. We called it ahead of time.
That's right. We knew that guy was special.
Yeah, we sure
right.
did. Well, I always knew. I think he's in like Aliens in the Attic and Zoe 101 and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I knew him from the Carrie Diaries, bro.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I think that it ends pretty great too, where the whole movie there would been a whole thing where it's like, her scholarship thing, and she says like my pageant, and then she corrects her, says scholarship thing, and she's like, yeah, and then she says yes, and then you're like, oh fuck, because that would have been a whole thing where you can't say yeah,
right. I also
great.
liked the moment where they say like, a lot of people have referred to pageants as like anti-feminist and retrograde. What do you have to say about that? And like her answer being like, I used to be one of those people, but then I came here and I met these wonderful women. Like I thought that was all right.
Yeah, that was and that's right when she's like, and we're all hoping that each other falls on their face. Oh wait, I already did that, and it's like a real sweet moment where you like relate to.
I didn't love that. That seemed like a not like, I'm not like other girls. like she's trying to be like a Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, it worked for me because she said it, and then she said it after, and I didn't even expect that line coming up where she had corrected herself because I forgot about that part, and I was like, oh yeah, she did, and she even called it out. I like that.
Oh yeah, all right, fair enough. I'm gonna give it a 2 though.
All right, so a 3 and a 2. My MVP. You're gonna go with Bill Shatner. I'm gonna go Sandra Bullock.
MVP.
Yeah.
You think she really brought it in this one?
I think this is like what she's best at.
All right.
Be like annoyed professional who's like trying to keep up. I don't know.
I guess. At least she's brunette. That's the one thing you got to know about Sandra Bullock. If she's blonde in a movie, don't watch it. Don't fucking watch it.
But she'll win an Oscar.
She might, but don't watch it. It'll be bad.
What else is she blonde in, though?
Two If by Sea, All About Steve.
Oh,
a lot of them. Yeah.
Wow.
She shows up blonde sometimes. All right.
My LVP.
Yeah.
Ernie Hudson.
What?
Yeah, I didn't think he was good.
Yeah, I did. There were a couple of line readings because I like Ernie Hudson, and he usually gives his all to like whatever he does. Like if you watch like The Crow, he's like really committed to that part and shit. But he does seem like he's just like saying shit in this movie. Like he's just reading lines.
Yeah, any scene with him I thought was worse. I guess also because when you're with him, you're also with Benjamin Bratt and those guys probably.
Yeah.
I just thought all of his stuff was the worst stuff.
There were bloopers in the second movie, and Ernie Hudson comes back for that one, and I felt like he looked exhausted in those bloopers. Like I
in the
can't
credits?
believe I'm here
I didn't
right
stay
now.
for that.
You didn't watch the fucking bloops?
No, I didn't notice that.
They were pretty bad, but I love bloopers, so I'm happy.
Me too, but I didn't notice.
All right. All right, so that's I give my LVP to Brat.
All right. That's fair.
Listen, I'm so sorry, but if you're going to have a movie with a rom-com element, you need a better male lead than Ben Bratt. Come on. He's a TV actor. We all know it. He's a fine TV actor. He had a good run on Law and Order. But this guy shouldn't be the lead in movies. Come on.
Okay. I'm doing something new this year. I'm going to rank every movie that we cover on the actual franchise. And I put this one between El Mariachi and Desperado. Okay.
This is not better than Desperado. Fuck
I think it is. I think this one's more genuine than Desperado. Desperado's like, we're making El Mariachi again, but with stars. And this one's like they're trying to make a movie, and it feels like sweet and genuine.
They're not trying. They're trying to make some money.
In this one?
Yeah.
But not in Desperado?
I mean, yeah.
What?
I mean, both. All the art is commerce.
Yeah, but I thought this seemed more genuine.
I don't know. This is just Hollywood trash. You can skip it by me, man. I think it's the worst thing we've watched this year so far.
Worse than Mexico.
Yeah.
No way. This one's like in a movie. That's not a movie. It's just like, what can I have a bunch of money? What am I gonna do?
Yeah, it's more fun than this.
Maybe, but it's not a movie.
This was an hour and 50 minutes too. That's too long.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is too long.
And then the second one's an hour and 55 minutes, obnoxiously.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to that one. How about that? So 5 fucking years later, they make this thing. Nobody cared anymore. Did anyone even remember Miss Congeniality was a thing?
Of course. That's a famous movie.
I guess so. But like, I remember when this movie came out, and like, it seemed surprising. Like when trailers came out for this, because you got to remember, this was a time when it wasn't like every movie that did well had the potential to be a sequel.
Yeah.
You know, like this movie came, it did well, we all liked it, and then like it went to TV, and that's where it belonged. Everyone watched it on TV once a year, maybe. But apparently, Mark Lawrence, the writer of the first one, he was directing Sandy B in 2 weeks' notice. And on the set of that movie, they came up with some sequel ideas. And they were like, let's do a sequel, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So Mark Lawrence, he doesn't direct. I think they should have just let him direct this second one.
Sure,
maybe
yeah.
he didn't want to. Who knows? But we've got a new director, John Pasquin, Tim Allen's best friend.
Yeah, seriously. Holy shit.
Okay? This movie, Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous, is the only film he's ever made that does not star Tim Allen. Yes.
Whoa, I noticed he had a lot, but I didn't know this is the only one.
Yeah, he directed The Santa Claus, the original, Jungle.
The best one, so shout out to him.
Yeah, I guess I can agree with that. Jungle to Jungle. All right. Yeah. Don't leave the toilet seat up. It makes women very mad. Joe Somebody. All right.
Yeah.
And
any other movies?
No, but
because I know 39 episodes of Home Improvement and then
73 episodes of Last Man Standing.
Nuts.
Outrageous.
That's he just wakes up and goes and shoots Tim Allen all day.
That's my life. That's my job. I get paid to visualize Tim Allen and shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
He could go. He like dreams of Tim Allen probably.
Probably. He's also married to the mom from Poltergeist. How about
wow.
That? Is that a fun fact?
I wouldn't want to be in contact with anyone from that set. Wasn't that like a cursed set?
Cursed set. That's right. Yeah.
The girl died, right?
Maybe this lady, the mom, was the one who killed everybody, though.
Wow. Wasn't Drew Barrymore almost cast as Carol Ann, but then wasn't? Then did E.T. or something? I think did E.T.
I don't know.
Instead,
listen to our podcast on Poltergeist. I probably talk about it.
Oh, I listened to it at the time.
I gave it a 5. Everyone else gave it a 3. Piece of shit.
I give it a 4.
Thank you. It deserves at least a 4. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's great.
I remember one of the first times I saw like she's in that kitchen and that chair starts moving and she's like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Whoa! How'd I do that?" I was like one of the first times watching a movie. I was like, "Whoa! That was cool."
That's
it was like a triggering moment.
It's movie magic.
Yeah, really.
All right. Pasquin, he's directing this. No Tim Allen in sight. Do you think he tried to get Tim involved?
I bet he did, yeah.
He was like, can Tim play that little Mexican fella?
the Regina Hall character?
The Regina
bodyguard?
Hall. Yeah. Is that why her name is Sam Fuller? Because it was originally a dude but played by Tim Allen?
I like when women have the name Sam. I like that.
But why is it Sam Fuller?
What do you mean? Samantha.
That's a famous director.
Oh, Sam Fuller is?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that.
Samuel fucking Fuller. He directed like The Big Red One and The Naked Kiss and shit.
Oh,
he's like a film noir guy.
All right.
So what the fuck is up with that?
I guess a shout out to him. Maybe
Don't
this is inspired
name characters after famous people. You cannot name a character Eric Matthews, and you cannot name a character Sam Fuller. I don't know what this movie's trying to pull off.
All right. David Lynch plays John Ford in The Fablemans.
Well, but he's playing a real person.
Oh, I guess that's different.
Yeah, that's very different.
Okay, sorry.
All right. This film, Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous. Great title, by the way. Great
How many times
title.
are you going to say that?
I like the title.
Me too.
It's like, I think it's up there with like The Secret of the Ooze, Electric Boogaloo, some of the best sequel titles.
We got to do it. That could be its own episode. We
should
rank
do that,
the best
yeah.
sequel titles.
Yeah.
That could be a real episode. That'll be a lot of fun, actually.
We'll do it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/the franchise. Hey guys, we're doing a fucking Buffy show. Actually, I have a good segue for that in Miss Congeniality 2. I'll plug it then.
Okay.
All right. This came out March 24th, 2005. I mean, way after the first one. And it's so wild that it takes place just a couple weeks after the first one.
Well, then almost a year. It jumps forward 10 months.
Yeah, but it was so confusing to me at the start of this movie. Like, why are they talking about that pageant like it happened like recently? That was 5 fucking years ago. See Sandra Bullock? She clearly looks 5 years older.
Yeah, she's had. How did she have Botox done between?
She doesn't even do Botox anymore. I feel like she has directors shoot her in soft focus now.
Oh, interesting.
Did you see Bullet Train?
I saw Bullet Train.
That is not like she is in a different level of focus than everyone else at the end of that movie.
Yeah, but I think her isn't her whole thing like outside in like the tropic at the very end of that movie.
Yeah, but they're cutting
like,
back and forth
screen.
between her and fucking Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt just looks like a dude.
Yeah,
she looks like an ethereal angel.
What was it that you told me about the shooting of those movies? Like, which one came first? Like, how did they all get together to shoot both movies?
They were shooting both those movies in like some random country, like Belgium or something. And like, I don't know, they just like knew, Sandra Bullock and Brad Pitt know each other.
But you don't know which one they were shooting first and which one they got to do what.
I knew it at the time, but I don't remember.
I was thinking, I was like, is he playing this character after Bullet? I was wanting to know, but that's okay.
Yeah. I want to say Bullet Train shot first.
Okay.
Because I think it's the reverse of how they came out. Because Lost City was released first. Anyway. All right. So they had another.
She's worked with David Leitch, classic director.
What did she work with him in?
Bullet Train.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot he directed that. He's a Deadpool 2 guy, right?
I think so. I think he's one of those John Wick guys.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. All right. $45 million budget for this one, same as the last one. It made $101.3 million. It sounds like a hit, but that's over $100 million less than the last one made.
Yes. And isn't the thing, if you double the budget to do marketing, that's $90 million.
Right. So they really have probably only made like $11 million, and Sandy B probably swallowed that up herself.
She probably stole it. She got her ocean screw together. Was like, I'm taking this last $10 million
for sure. Where's Aquafina? All right.
I forgot Aquafina. Rihanna's in that movie.
That's right. What a cast.
LVP Rihanna.
I disagree. I think she's okay in that movie. I don't remember.
I'm gonna listen to that episode. I bet your LVP's Rihanna.
It might be. Fucking call me out, please.
Is Anne Hathaway in that too?
Yeah.
Pretty stacked. Those three: Bullock, Hathaway, Blanchett.
Anne Hathaway is
great.
mad stacked, bro. You ever see Havoc?
Yeah, I feel like underrated stacked.
Yeah, totally. All right. She once, of course, famously, I helped her at Barnes & Noble, and she whispered her instructions to her assistant, who would then say them out loud to me.
Yeah, I do recall that.
Yeah, she's a real piece of shit.
Not as nice as Holly Hunter. Wasn't she nice to Henry once?
Holly, probably. That does sound right.
I think that's a story.
Henry Papali, what a mensch you are, sure. All right. So this was nominated for an award.
Which one?
Teen Choice. It even won an award. Sandra Bullock won Best Actress in a Comedy for Miss Congeniality 2.
Wow.
Armed and Fabulous.
Yeah.
They were also nominated for Best Dance Scene, okay, for the classic scene where she's dressed as a Vegas showgirl and Regina King is dressed as Tina Turner, and they
Yep.
perform Proud Mary together on stage at a drag show.
Yeah, that was a nice scene.
They shot this today. They might have to show Republican protesters outside.
Is that what they do? They hang out drag
They
bars
hate
and
drag
protest?
shows now. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I bet.
But it lost Best Dance Sequence to the great dance at the prom in Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, that deserves it. This film came in at number 59 at the box office for the year 2005, right between Racing Stripes, which I don't know anything about, but I remember had a zebra on the cover.
Never heard of it.
Well, it's got a zebra. Come on, you were a kid back then. You didn't see Racing Stripes? I thought you'd know this one.
No, I never even heard of that. I just told you that.
But who's in it?
Oh, I've definitely seen this poster before.
With the zebra?
Oh yeah.
Top
Frankie
two billed
Muniz.
actors, Frankie Muniz and David Spade. How about
Why didn't you
that?
go top three? Top three would have excited me too.
Snoop Dogg, you're right.
Snoop. Oh my God! Top Hayden Panettiere's in this movie.
Maybe we gotta see this. Cover
Yeah.
on We Love Kids movies.
I mean, this is 2005. She's probably very young.
Hey, I saw a picture of Frankie Muniz with his wife on
She's 16.
on Instagram recently. His wife is 16?
No, Hayden is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who Frankie's wife? Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, quite a piece. Good job, Frankie Muniz.
Really?
Yeah,
I always liked Frankie Muniz. I gotta recommend you the movie.
I always liked
Stay
Frankie
Alive
Muniz, but that guy grew up ugly as fuck, dude. And so I was a little surprised. But I guess if you had any level of fame at any time in your life, you could get hot ladies.
Yes, like people with no fame can get hot ladies sometimes.
No, it's true. I kind of a hot lady. I'm fucking nobody.
They eventually break up, but still, it,
Hey!
it does happen.
Hey, easy.
That's your thought.
Yeah.
That's your way of thinking.
Excuse
You
me.
didn't hear me, by the way. I'm gonna recommend you Stay Alive soon.
What's
It's
that?
it's a great horror movie with Frankie Muniz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One of
There's
my
a
favorites.
there's
when I
a
was kid.
great movie with Frankie Muniz in it.
Yeah, Stay Alive. Well, there's a few. There's Big Fat Liar.
I do love
there's
Big Fat Liar. You're right.
there's the other one where he's around the same age. I don't remember.
What?
It's what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like another like Disney type movie.
and Frankie Muniz was starring in multiple movies.
Agent Cody Banks. Come on.
Oh,
Come on,
that's
come on.
right. That is a sequel. We could cover it.
Oh, My Dog Skip. He's the kid in that movie. Remember he's
When
at the
are we-
baseball field. He kicks the dog. He's like, "Get out of here, dog."
Yeah, I do remember that. When are we covering Agent Cody Banks?
Next
in
week.
2023.
But yeah, sure.
He goes to London in the second one. I remember that.
If
much.
there's only two, if there's three, I don't want to do
I
it.
think there's only two.
Because that would mean either 3 in 1 week, which sounds like hell, or 2 weeks, which also sounds like hell.
Do you know that Sandra Bullock has addressed the idea of a Miss Congeniality 3?
No, I haven't heard about that.
She says that she doesn't want to do a Miss Congeniality 3 because she thought the second one was bad, but she would like to see them do a prequel with like a young Agent Gracie Hart. How about that? Would you watch that?
McKenna Grace. Oh, Grace is Gracie Hart. That could work.
It would be perfect.
Young
And she
Gracie
could have
Hart.
some great songs on the soundtrack. Ghost never leaves a haunted house. Boom. All right.
But by the way, Agent Cody Banks, Arnold Vosloo is in this movie. That's fucking awesome.
The Mummy from The Mummy.
Yeah, so we got to do that soon. Can't wait to talk about him.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna do it when we do The Mummy because that's 25 movies. So
Yeah, we can never do The Mummy. But I can't figure out how to do The Mummy.
yeah, I've thought about it a lot.
Yeah, me too. I want to cover The Mummy, and I just can't figure it out.
Let's just like pretend they don't exist.
No, you can't do that. Goes against everything I stand for.
I know.
All right. So I gotta say, McKenna Grace is great casting. She should do the Miss Congeniality prequel.
Yeah, she'd be great.
Yeah. And this franchise has a history of random songs. Did you know that the closing credits song in the first movie was done by the dude Sandra Bullock was dating at the time?
No, who's that?
Just some random guy.
I feel like people like famous people were much more willing to date not famous people back in the like early 2000s and
It's
stuff,
true,
right?
man. I mean, Julia Roberts hooked up with that like camera dude.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I guess that's what I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't feel like that happened. I feel like Jessica Alba married like this dude Warren Cash,
No,
who
it's
was
Cash
just
Warren.
Cash Warren, who was
Yeah.
just like this like maybe he's like a producer or something, I don't know, but yeah, it's just like some guy. And I love Jessica Alba, so when that happened, I was like, "What? That happens? They married not other actors? Whoa."
It is weird, man. Like, because now I feel like because of social media, you can monetize your relationship. Like, if you're in like
Yeah.
a cute, famous couple, like a Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, you can make a lot of money off of that.
Derek
shit.
and Claire, you can go get on Amazing Race and win
Yeah,
$1 million bucks.
Yeah, Derek X and Claire. We don't even think they really fuck. All right, so that's just an internet relationship. But yeah, back then people were more willing, I guess. So
Yeah, you're right.
it's a different world, man. We could have had a famous person back then.
Yeah.
Never did. Okay. If you predict, let me ask you a question, Logan.
Yeah.
Before watching Miss Congeniality 2, when you'd only seen Miss Congeniality 1, who would you think were the actors you need to get back for the sequel?
I would say got to get Bullock.
Obviously, yeah, you need Bullock.
Got to get her boyfriend back.
Got to get Ben Bratt. Obviously, they're together now.
Got to get Brat. Maybe that's it. You can say she's working for a different force. You don't need Ernie Hudson and those guys.
You need Michael Caine.
Oh, Michael Caine. Really?
Yeah. Come on. There's a moment in this fucking movie where the FBI is like, well, we need to get you, because she's going to be like on the talk show circuit. And they're like, we need to get you somebody who's going to like teach you how to be proper on the talk shows and shit. Didn't you think the next shot of the movie was going to be Michael Caine showing up?
No.
I fucking did.
I actually didn't even think about it. Because he only does pageants. We didn't even talk about his whole history in that last movie. How he was like David Fincher or somebody. How he made him go crazy by how much of a perfectionist he was. He made his pageant person like Jake Gyllenhaal, basically. How they like froze and couldn't do it, and then they were like, it was all my pageant director, and then like so we got fired.
I guess that's true. Hey, can I tell you another weird relationship I read recently? I looked up an actress. I was watching something yesterday, and I looked up an actress that was in it, and it turned out she's married to David Beckham's son.
Wow, I thought his kids were pretty young.
Yeah, he's born in 1999. Apparently, already married to a famous actress.
Younger than me.
Yeah, outrageous. People are getting married too young these days. I was Nicola Peltz. You know her?
No, I mean, who's she in this movie?
No. This is a total non sequitur. I was just thinking about celebrity relationships because we were talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. We'll get back into the movie. But no, Ben Bratt, Michael Caine, nowhere to be found. We've got Bullock. All right. Miss Rhode Island is around. William Shatner's there.
Yeah, that was surprising. Shatner came back.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson. Get him back.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, that fat white guy, John DiResta.
Who? Oh, yeah, I noticed him. Yeah.
Well,
he's like the fourth cop or whatever.
Yeah, he had a black partner in the first movie. They didn't feel the need to bring that guy back.
I guess the FBI isn't cops, right?
Well, whatever. Yeah, he's an FBI guy. John DiResta, he was a stand-up comedian in the 90s, a really bad one. And he got his own show called DiResta at one point.
Wow.
It was like Seinfeld. Yeah. And it got canceled after like 15 episodes. And then
kind of long.
Yeah, it went for like most of a season. And then he got put on Miss Congeniality like right after that.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. And that's it.
And he's hanging in there. Yeah, I saw his last credit as an actor is 2013. I wonder if he's still doing stand-up.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope
the comedy
so.
store.
Probably. I hope that if you are out there and you want to see John DiResta perform 30 minutes of jokes about his wife being shitty, you can watch that if you want.
Yeah. Head on over to the Laugh Factory. I'm sure he's performing.
Yeah, your local Ha-Ha Hut.
What's like the New York thing? Like the Comedy Store is California, right? What's like the New York Comedy Store?
The Comedy Factory, I think.
Comedy Factory. Wow.
Wait, did I make that up?
I said Laugh Factory. I know that's a thing.
No, that's definitely a thing. Mitch Hedberg recorded his first album at a Laugh Factory.
Well,
But New York City Comedy Club. Let's see what the first thing that comes up is.
yeah. I mean, you lived there. You already forgot all about New York.
Yeah, fuck it. Oh, Gotham. Right, that's a big one. The
Gotham.
Gotham Comedy Club. Yeah.
Yeah, very big.
Okay. And yeah, I think that's the one where you see Louis going. No, it's not. That's a different one. Which is the Louis one? The Comedy Cellar.
Oh yeah, I know. Wait, like in the opening credits, he goes in one or something?
Yeah, with his pizza. Remember, he eats a pizza on the way to the Comedy Cellar.
I've never ever seen that.
Are you fucking kidding me? You know, that's one of the great shows of all time, and it's impossible to recommend now.
Well, I mean, what did he do? He just like jerked off in front of somebody.
Yeah, he locked women in a room with him and jerked off in front of them. You know, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right. So Bullock, she now is playing a 35-year-old. She even says it in the movie. She looks about 40 though. And come on. And very early on in the movie, she gets dumped on the phone by Ben Bratt. He couldn't even lend his voice to
I thought she was good there.
What?
Yeah, I thought she.
I
sold
thought
it
that
really
scene
well.
was terrible.
Because I was sitting there watching it, I was like, obviously he's not there or anything, but I thought she sold it really well.
I don't know, man. I read that Ben Bratt turned this movie down. If Ben Bratt is saying this movie's not good enough for me to be in, you shouldn't make that movie.
Yeah. Was it Catwoman? Was that like he felt too big because he was like in the new?
No, I mean, he had just
superhero
done
movie?
Catwoman the year before. You would think Ben Bratt would take a look at that and be like, well, Miss Congeniality 2, that could right the ship a little bit. But no.
Did he already know that was bad? Maybe he thought it was good.
Yeah, do you think
We had
that's what
Phantom
happened? He
Menace
thought
syndrome.
Catwoman was going to be like a huge hit for him and like, oh, man, I'm too good for Miss Congeniality 2.
I think
Oh,
so.
man, that could be what happened.
And then it's like when Russell Hantz loses Survivor twice. Like he thought he had it all in the bag. He was going to win 2 in a row, 2 W's back to back.
Yeah.
But then he realizes he made a mistake both times.
I know. And then he got voted out 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3rd.
Could be 3rd, yeah. Who's
He might be
voted out
3rd.
ahead of him?
I don't know. There's that Valencia. Francesca, somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, you know who it was?
Valencia also.
Valencia. Yeah, Stephanie Valencia.
But then also somebody else, I think.
I loved Stephanie Valencia. I was rooting for her to come back in second chance.
Yeah, me too.
I voted for her a couple times.
Because there's also somebody else that was on the Rob tribe where she was friends with Francesca and like sort of stirring the pot. She might have gone before Russell too. But I can't remember.
I think you're right about that. All right. So Sandy B, this takes place 3 weeks later after the first movie, even though everyone looks clearly 5 years older. And it's a bank robbery. She prevents a bank robbery from a group of housewives, one of whom was Felicity's mom from Felicity, who also was the mom in the 3rd Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Which one is that? Honey, We
Shrunk Ourselves. Yeah.
Okay.
She took over for the original mom in that one.
I was expecting Melissa D'Souza to show up. They said housewives, and I was like, oh, they're going to bring D'Souza back. But no.
No, but did you know that the actress who played Miss Nebraska in the first movie became a real housewife?
No, I did not know that. That's
I
great.
read that. That's fascinating stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
I love that.
Okay. So they prevent the bank robbery, but everyone recognizes her at the bank robbery because she's famous now. Because 3 weeks ago, she was on TV. She probably shouldn't be doing undercover work right now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Great point. You can't do undercover work when you're famous.
Yeah, like you're like in the zeitgeist right now. You probably shouldn't be doing undercover work.
And it's like you see Baby Yoda doing undercover work, and you're like,
Yeah,
"You're
you'd be like,
Baby Yoda."
You're obviously not a mom with a baby carriage. You're Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I think that we have to call him.
You're
Grogu.
Grogu.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gets reassigned, right? They want her to be like the FBI's face to the public.
Yeah, we get randomly told like we're getting like bad publicity. So now you're good. You're the face of the FBI. People like you.
We're gonna do like an FBI media push, a media blitz, and you're gonna go on all the shows, including David Letterman, which is mentioned in dialogue, and live with Regis. And we get to see Regis. Now,
and Joy.
Yeah, it's his wife, Joy Philbin, who never belonged on TV. Can I ask you a question? Do you think they asked Kelly Ripa?
I mean, yeah, so I didn't know this person, and she said, like, thanks for beating my husband up, and I was like, what? Kelly Ripa just said her husband? Or whoever was, not Kelly Ripa, but whoever was, like, the other person.
It's Joy Philbin.
I know, but I thought it was his other co-host or whoever, and I always thought they were making a joke, like, in this universe, they're married. And so I thought it was a joke, but it was actually his wife.
Joy Philbin occasionally will like fill in. Well, now it's not on the air anymore, and she's dead, right? Or he's dead.
I don't know if she is.
Regis is dead. I think she still does the show, but not with Michael Strahan because he abandoned ship. All right, but she used to fill in for Kathy Lee or Kelly Ripa occasionally in her day. She was really bad at it, but she was allowed to because she was married to Regis. And but I got to assume they wanted Regis and Kelly for this scene.
Yeah,
and Kelly was just like, no.
He was all for it, though.
He was ready to do it. He even did some stunts.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Regina King kicked him in the balls.
Regina King, you're right. I think earlier I might have said Regina Hall.
Oh my God, dude. Did you really?
I didn't mean that as a racism thing. I just actually get their names confused.
Well, they're two famous Reginas, both black. And, it's easy. No, it's not.
And we just did Regina Hall. So.
That's true. We did just cover Best Man Final Chapters this week.
Oh, yeah, that was a bonus episode. If you guys didn't listen to that, listen to that.
Yeah. But Regina
better,
King...
I watched 2 whole episodes of it.
I watched 8.
Yeah, so listen to it for Detroit, not for me.
Yeah. Fuck you. Regina King, of course, multi-Oscar winner now, right? Multi?
Really?
No, maybe just one. She just won. Yeah. Oh, and multi-Emmy winner.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Because she won for both Watchmen and American Crime.
What'd she win an Oscar for?
If Beale Street Could Talk.
She straight up won the Oscar.
She just flat out won it.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then she like directed a movie like a year after that was pretty good.
All right.
Remember, what was that movie with remember there's like 4 famous guys. One Night in Miami. That's what it was. It's Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown all hanging out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I only saw One Night in Paris.
Well, I've seen that too multiple times.
Multiple times? You keep going back?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty boring, but
when's the last time you watched it?
Been years.
It's her.
Been many years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a classic, you know?
Yeah, it is classic.
Yeah. No one can dispute
better
that.
Than the Kim Kardashian one.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Way better.
But not as good as like
Pam Anderson? I think better than that one.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think of something else.
There aren't really any good famous. Bret Michaels, didn't he have? Oh, maybe with Pam Anderson?
What about that girl who played Supergirl? I don't know if that's a video. I've only seen pictures.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the fappening
pretty
people
crazy
count.
shit, man.
I don't know if that
that
counts.
fappening was wild.
There was no like sex tapes though. It's just like nude pics and stuff.
I think there were a couple vids.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not full length vids like One Night in Paris that you can market like that. But
yeah, like edited together and everything.
Yeah. All right.
And it starts out with the guy like, I look good in this scene. This is my favorite shot of the whole video. The night cam I thought was a good idea.
I forgot there's a night cam in that.
He says, I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah, it is a good touch. All right. So Regina King in this movie, this is like before she had any fucking respect on her name. She was just like some actress in Hollywood. And like she was clearly talented, but she like always got put in bullshit like this.
Like Octavia Spencer.
Yeah. You know what's sad is this is still one of her most known for on IMDb.
No, Regina King?
Yeah.
This movie.
Yeah.
I didn't even look her up, so I didn't notice that. That is wild.
It's If Beale Street Could Talk,
that seems impossible.
The Harder They Fall, and Miss Congeniality too.
Come on. You know, not Watchmen?
No.
What?
It's
We gotta contact IMDb.
Yeah.
So what? They always if you look up Bob Saget, I'm sure Full House is his number 1
Yeah,
credit.
you're probably right, man. But yeah, back then she was just doing like not only is she in this, she's in Legally Blonde too, also. Like 2 of the worst fucking sequels ever.
So is Octavia Spencer.
That's right. She shows up in this for a second.
Yeah, that's why I brought her up.
That was weird.
Yeah.
As herself, seemingly.
This is like maybe the least she's ever been in anything. You see like the back of her head. She says Octavia, then she just walks off screen.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if we see her face really.
Yeah. It's weird. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's right before that little girl comes in. But yeah, Regina King, I first got to know her as the love interest in Chris Rock's Down to Earth.
Okay.
And I've loved her ever since, and I've always rooted for her. And man, that rooting really paid off because she became very successful.
Well, I told you recently on like, hey, I'm watching here something that her son killed himself, right?
Yeah, I do remember that. That
was like within the last few years.
It's horrible. That's horrible. She's had too difficult a life for such a fucking lightning rod of talent. So she's like Bullock's sidekick in this, like
bodyguard.
Yeah, and they hate each other until the end, and then they become friends.
Yeah, I thought it was actually kind of weird. She is supposed to be her bodyguard, but like even though Regina King can beat up anybody, probably she is like 8 inches shorter than Sandra Bullock, seemingly. So if someone was trying to kill Sandra Bullock, you could easily kill her.
What about near the end of the movie when Regina King is going to be Tina Turner?
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock argues that she should be Tina Turner because she's a bigger fan.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was a great moment. But then she says, "No, you can't do that. Come on."
You think it was weird though for the main character of this franchise to advocate doing blackface?
She didn't say she had to do the blackface.
She would have to if she's doing a drag performance as Tina Turner.
You just dress like her. Does she have like a signature voice or anything?
She's got that wig, I guess. You could put the wig on there.
Yeah, a signature wig. That could be fine.
I gotta say, we do see a drag queen as Tina Turner in this scene, and for a second, I thought it was really Tina Turner.
Wow.
Yeah. So the drag guy did a good job. Better than
Liza Minnelli.
No, I thought the Liza Minnelli one was good.
Yeah, me too. I knew it was her before they said it.
Who was the big fat guy we see backstage though? Because he was Greg Grunberg's brother.
That's Dolly. That's when they go to try to interview Dolly. That's why they're at the drag club.
That's not who I mean though.
Oh.
He was like sitting in a chair.
I don't know.
I don't fucking remember. Anyway, let's talk about the villains.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the bad guys in this movie.
Very exciting. All right, we go to like a biker bar. By the way, this movie takes place in Las Vegas, where I live now.
Right. I noticed that, yeah.
And do you know that they say the cross streets of the drag bar, and it's like 3 blocks away from my house. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want to go there and see if there's a drag bar.
I never see any place in movies that's like, whoa, I know that place. And you just like, anywhere you go, you're just like, oh, there's another place that I know.
Yeah, that's because I don't live in bullshit places like Alabama.
All right. It wasn't my fucking choice.
I know. Long Island wasn't my choice either, man. I got dragged out there. But, so, yeah, the villains in the motorcycle bar, they are...
some guy, and then...
No, it's Nick Offerman is the main one, okay? And that's wild to see, because this is pre-Parks and Rec. I don't remember ever seeing him in anything pre-Parks and Rec. And he's doing it. He's doing the Nick Offerman in this. Like, he's got that vibe.
Yeah, he knows I'm going to be a fucking star.
Yeah. He married a famous lady before he was famous.
Oh, right. What's her name?
Megan Mullally.
Yeah.
So good for her.
I think they're big Survivor fans.
I think you're right about that.
I think I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jenna Fisher might be too.
Oh.
But the other dude is Abraham Benrubi, man. You didn't know this actor?
No.
Well, you will, because he shows up in season 5 of Buffy as a troll. Yeah.
As a troll?
Yeah, he plays a big troll.
Awesome.
Yeah, so look forward to that. And if you want to hear more of us talking about Buffy...
Oh, this was it.
This was it. Yeah. How about this? Patreon.com/the franchise. We've got a brand new fucking weekly show where we're watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a show that I've seen enough to have written my undergraduate thesis about, and a show Logan has never seen before.
Yes. And we also did on the Patreon this week, by the way, a 2023 franchise preview. I told D-Train all the different franchises.
Except for Evil Dead, which you left out.
Except for Evil Dead, which I did not realize. Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, it's a great show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the month, we're gonna rank all of 2022 movies.
Oh, we're doing that? It's like going to be a rank high voltage?
Oh, you want to do a top 10? What do you want to do?
Oh, I thought that's what you meant, but we can do that. That's fine.
We can do either one.
No, I like that idea.
I think also that should be maybe a main. We should just release that to everybody.
Yeah, I think that's
And
fine.
if they want to hear more about us actually talk about the show, then they can listen to Hey, I'm Watching Here, right?
Great point, brother. Okay.
You want to hear me talk about 2001 and why I hated it so much?
You gave it a 4. Last week on the show, Logan gave. If you want to hear more, Hey, I'm Watching Here. It's every Friday or Saturday, I guess. And Logan
Friday
this week
usually
gave Chinatown and 2001 a 4 out of 5 and recommended me Lemonade Mouth.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So that's the.
But this week you're watching Cam. It's a little bit of a step up.
Kill it, Cam. All right, Diedrich Bader's in this movie.
Oh yeah, a possible LVP.
No, listen. Diedrich Bader's a good actor and a good comedic actor, and I thought he did what he could with this role. He's playing like a flamboyant gay dude. Which
was he gay?
Yes.
He kept making comments like straight comments, like I'm gonna sleep with you and stuff like that. It was like, is this character?
He was constantly hitting on dudes though, and
Really?
he was doing like a lisp.
What lisp indicates gay?
Yeah, back then it did.
I thought I couldn't really tell. I thought like he seemed like it. I thought all of his actions were, but everything he was saying was like, I love women. I don't know.
I mean, he loves women because like gay dudes
to give them makeovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's the kind of vibe it was. But Diedrich, this could have been really fucking annoying and pretentious. I thought a lot about Jeremy Piven in Rush Hour 2.
Okay.
Because that is such a bad gay character. It's so fucking offensive. And I don't know. And in this, he's toning it down a little bit. He's just making him a little gay.
All right.
I thought he was all right. I like Diedrich Bader. He still plays a gay guy. He's on Better Things. And I think he's straight in real life. So I don't know what that is.
Oh, really? It's like a Modern Family situation?
What about Modern Family?
Because
Eric Stone Street? Yeah.
Yeah, but he played gay all those years?
I thought you were mentioning Modern Family because Ben Bratt was in it.
No, it was he.
He played Sofia Vergara's ex-husband.
What?
Yeah.
I don't like that. That doesn't make sense.
Why does that not make sense?
Doesn't
that make more sense than her being married to Ed O'Neill?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like she would. I feel like she's way too much for Benjamin Bratt.
Well, she was. That's why they had to get a divorce.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm. All right. So they go to Las Vegas.
We didn't mention the other bad guy.
Yeah, we did. Abraham Benrubi. I said he played a troll on Buffy, and then we got into that.
No, but then they work for a different bad guy.
Oh,
Richie
yeah, the dude from The Sopranos. Yeah, that was exciting.
That was awesome. But then they just he leaves in 10 minutes. But
he's uncredited in the movie.
Yeah, it was cool to see him though while he's there.
Yeah, he gets held by his legs like Suge Knight.
Yeah, they threaten him and then he just drives off and you never see him again.
Yeah, and let's also talk about the new FBI guys. Because, Ernie Hudson's around, but we also meet the head of the Las Vegas FBI Bureau.
Well, Walter? You talking Walter?
Who's Walter?
He's like the main guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know who he is? And do you know what he is?
No. A Ninja Turtle?
No.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Always,
what is he?
Always a treat. Treat Williams, baby.
That was Treat Williams?
That was Treat Williams. Always a motherfucking treat. Love him. Great in this. Cheating with the other guy's wife or whatever.
I think it's just a girlfriend.
And she'll show up on Angel if we get to Angel.
Oh. After 2 episodes, not looking likely.
She plays Hey, how dare you? She plays Detective Kate Lockley in the first 2 seasons of Angel. Yeah. All right, so I liked that storyline, that the young guy, because I thought they were setting him up as a love interest for Bullock at first, but then, it turns out he has a relationship. He's really obsessed with his lady, but his lady's cheating on him with always a Treat Williams, and then at the end of the movie, he ends up with Miss Rhode Island.
So you like that?
I did like that. It was a nice twist.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I thought a nice twist was they set the whole movie up like, now we have to make you the face of the FBI, so now we're gonna have to give you a makeover, and then they get done with that in like the 2 minutes. I thought that was good because I thought that might be the whole movie. I was like, oh my god, they're just redoing the first movie and they're having
Well,
to
it's sort of the opposite of the first movie, right? Because in this one, she's mostly like well put together and shit, and then she like rediscovers her gross roots at the end.
Yes, and also in this one's all like mystery. How are we gonna figure out? Are we gonna catch this bad guy? And then the last one, it's more like she's actually getting along with the girls, and like that's becoming like more and more of a thing. And this movie, there's not really that. It's more just like catch the bad guy. This other thing leading to this thing, leading to
Well,
this thing.
she becomes closer to Regina King, but they don't really get into it until like the very end. It's almost like the turn
Well, they
in
do
the first
bond.
one,
They have like
where
a
all of a
10-minute
sudden,
bonding scene.
what do they bond over?
They're like, my dad
Oh!
died.
That's right. They bring back the thing that was cut out of the first movie of Bullock's mom being dead, and she
Right.
relates to King because her dad is dead.
That's right. Which,
Dead
by the way,
parents.
isn't Gracie Hart a nepo baby?
That's a great point. Yeah, Gracie Hart is a nepo baby. She got that FBI gig.
Yeah.
But Regina King, what was her dad? Wasn't he a guy too?
No, she says he was like in sports, something to do with sports, and he like
Oh.
taught her how to like box and stuff. Something
Oh,
like that.
that's right. He was like a sports reporter. And
Yeah, that sounds right.
she's,
Sports
like,
writer,
describing
sports
it.
writer, I think.
Yeah, he's a sports writer. We got to watch all the games on TV, and I was like, you could do that just anytime, like yourself.
Yeah,
Like, you don't need
just
to-
won't be paid for it.
Your dad doesn't need to be a sports writer for you to watch sports on TV.
Like we all do that with movies. Like movie critics get paid to do it, but like
Right, we
us
just do
normies, we
it.
just have to fucking watch them.
Yeah, I know. It's a fucking bummer. But who else you got?
In the cast,
Yeah, anybody?
did we talk about Jeff? I guess we talked
Who's
about
Jeff? Pro?
The guy from Speed 2.
Oh, yeah, that's his name, Jeff.
Yeah.
What's
My
the
name's
actor's
Jeff.
name? Enrique something?
Oh yeah, like Murcioli or something like that.
Murciani?
I don't have it written down, but it's something like that.
It's I'll look it up. Enrique Murciano
Yeah, that's pretty close.
as Jeff Foreman.
Yeah.
So clearly not written for a Latino actor, but good on them for casting somebody. All right.
Does anybody else, when you hear Foreman, you can only think about that '70s show, or is that like I'm just stupid?
No, that is my go-to if I think of Foreman.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Did you know this is Starbucks sponsored this one too?
No.
Yeah, there's a couple Starbucks references. And then also, how about the cameo by Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
All right. So she thinks she's looking for a Dolly Parton impersonator. That might be the kidnapper. Because the plot of the movie is that Miss Rhode Island and William Shatner get kidnapped. I don't know if we've set that up. But yeah. When we first see Dolly Parton, I thought it was a Dolly Parton impersonator because they're playing dueling banjos on the soundtrack from Deliverance. And I was like, why would they show Dolly Parton and call to mind like that horrible anal rape scene from Deliverance?
I immediately thought it was her. I didn't even notice that music cue, but I immediately thought it was her.
I was just like, it's obviously not her because they would never play this song if it was her. But then it was.
What would they play?
They would
I Will
play-
Always Love You, probably.
Yeah, or Jolene or something.
Jolene, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I love when every time Miley Cyrus performs Jolene. That's like my favorite thing.
It is good, right? She does a
She's
good
so good at
Jolene.
that.
You know who
Yeah,
else
yeah.
does a good Jolene? The White Stripes. You ever see them do it?
Oh no!
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right,
Um,
that's the song. Miley Cyrus's cover of Jolene. That's the outro.
great. I'm fine with it. All right, so Sandy B goes undercover at one point as an elderly lady doing a Jewish accent, and she has to interview Whose mom is it? It's William
Shatner's.
Shatner's mom.
Because they realized like that the people were after Shatner, not Miss Rhode Island. They were like reaching for him.
That's right.
That's the whole thing in these movies. They'll say something and then they'll be like, "Whoa, that's it." Like The Crown in the last movie, they'll say something about the Crown and she'll be like, "Whoa, it's in the Crown." Like she'll have these like light bulb moments, and that's the thing in this movie. They say like somebody reaches over, and then she's like, "Whoa, reach over." They were reaching for him. It has to be for. They were going for him.
It's like in Independence Day when Judd Hirsch tells Jeff Goldblum he's going to catch a cold, and he goes, "Cold, virus."
Yeah, it is a little bit like that.
Yeah. So the William Shatner's mom in this is played by Eileen Brennan, aka Mrs. Peacock from Clue the movie, and she is in real life 1 year younger than William Shatner.
Holy cow! Wow, he looks good.
That's kind of a fuck you to her, isn't it? Hey, you want to play this dude's mom, who you're younger than?
But also, you get paid $10,000. Here you go.
That's all she got, $10,000. Jesus,
I don't know. I mean, she's in one scene. She's probably old. I don't know.
Yeah, but she's Eileen Brennan. She's in
all right.
Mel
So here's
Brooks
$30,000
movies and shit.
How much do they give people for that type of stuff?
Yeah, probably that. All right, what else you got? I'm bored.
Like go to Treasure Island. That's pretty stupid. And that's the end of the movie.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Treasure Island's not a thing here. They changed the name because it doesn't have a pirate theme anymore. My girlfriend told me this. Dallas. They changed the name.
Where'd she
of the
get her
place.
rating for every movie? That should be a segment.
She's been reviewing them on Letterboxd. You could check it out there.
Oh, I didn't know she had one.
She's Slutty Siskel. That's her OnlyFans page.
Wow.
But what were we talking about? How do we? Oh, Treasure Island. They changed Treasure Island to TI. That's what it's called now.
Should I make an OnlyFans erotic Ebert?
That would be good. Yeah.
We could be like,
please don't do any crossover work with her.
Yeah, I won't. Don't worry about
it. That's good stuff. All right. They go to a drag bar. We'd already talked about this.
Yeah,
bullshit.
we did.
It's such a bad movie.
It's not that terrible.
It sucks. I'm giving it a 1.
I'll give it a 2. I didn't fully hate it.
Well, you have a little bit of room there because you gave the first one a 3, and it's clearly worse than the first one. So I gave the first one a 2. I gotta go 1 on this.
Yeah, but I won't do it.
All right. Well, I will. I'm fine with it. Fuck this movie.
MVP.
It's too long. I mean, the first movie. The first movie is an hour and 50 minutes, and I gotta say, the first hour of it kind of floats right by.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's actually like really great for a while. I kind of feel like it was paced fine. Great. It like the story was great. I thought I was like really on board for a long time.
Okay, but this movie it's paced like shit, man. It feels so long. When they do that 10 months later run, I'm like, what is this now? I gotta like relearn all the characters again. Fucking sucks. And there's so many scenes that don't lead to anything, like the Regis Philbin thing or
all the villain scenes. There's like a ton of villain scenes that don't.
What about the scenes where they constantly keep bringing like Regina King and Sandra Bullock to the airport so they can leave Las Vegas and they find a way to like squirt out of it? And one of them is like Sandra Bullock faking that has her period. It fucking sucks.
Right. That was stupid. Yeah. We didn't talk. That's probably the worst part of the movie. That was really stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty down on this movie.
That's fair.
It had moments, I guess, but it's a 1.
Not as bad as the other sequels, like Bad Santa 2 and all that kind of stuff.
I think it's as bad as that.
I don't think so.
Like I think this is
Dirt 2.
That's worse. But this is as bad as Legally Blonde 2, which I hated.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that. But like Octavia, I sort of did some research on Octavia Spencer. Her first role, also a Sandra Bullock movie, A Time to Kill.
Look at that. Maybe Sandy B helped her out.
Yeah, and then so you guys we've already seen her in the Bad Santa movie, Spider-Man Halloween 2, the remake. We'll see her again in Big Mama's House. She's in that movie, Legally Blonde 2.
And amazingly, she doesn't play Big Mama.
Oh, come on. And Insurgent. And I guess, is that the second or third one?
Yeah, that's the second one. Allegiance, the third one.
And then she has a voice in the Doolittle movie, the Robert Downey Jr. Robert De Niro, the Doolittle movie. And then the Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters. She's a voice in that. So we'll see her 5 more times.
A franchise queen.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I forgot that we could cover that Robert Downey. I said it too. That Robert Downey Jr. Doolittle movie.
Yeah.
Because
There's
Doctor
like a lot. There's like
Doolittle.
old ones. There's like a ton of old ones, right? There's probably like
Well,
6 Doolittle movies.
I think there's just the original, and then like maybe 2 theatrically released Eddie Murphy ones, and like 1 or 2 straight to video ones, and then the Robert De Niro apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so this movie wraps up. Fucking the dude ends up with Miss Rhode Island. I thought that was cute, I guess. And I thought Shatner had like nothing to do in this movie. I was pissed off because I loved him so much in the first movie.
Yeah, that's why it's so crazy he's back. He doesn't really get that much to do.
Yeah. No, I mean Ernie Hudson doesn't either. Like all the dudes they brought back get nothing.
But Shatner's got to be way more loaded than Ernie Hudson, right?
Yeah, I mean obviously.
Yeah.
He's got that Star Trek cash, man.
And she also goes and hangs out with that little girl from a book. There's like a little girl who shows up at the book signing and is like, I'm doing a report on you. And then
yeah.
you didn't like that?
It was all right. They're doing a signing at a Barnes & Noble earlier in the movie. I would know the signage anywhere. And a little girl comes up to her and says, like, you're my role model. Would you come talk in the class? And see, Bullock is still in the midst of her, like, makeover haze. So she's like, why don't you take the hair out of your face? Try some bows. And then when she shows up to the class at the end of the movie, she rips those bows out of her head and she's like, nah, be you, lady.
Yeah. A sweet moment, kind of.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
Why
Why not?
and then her and by the way, we haven't talked about how Sam, her last name is Fuller, which obviously is the name of the Fuller House Gang.
Yeah. I mean, but Sam Fuller, it just made me think of that famous director.
Yeah, I didn't know about him. So I just thought of DJ Fuller.
I hate that their last name is Fuller on that show. I like forget it every time. And every time you bring up that show, I remember how stupid it is.
Yeah, it's the best. All right, my MVP is going to be... Man, who's your MVP? Regina King. Regina King.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's only one person in this movie that is always a treat. That's why my MVP is Treat Williams.
All right, that's fair. My LVP is going to be... Who's your LVP? I don't know.
Boy.
The second bad guy?
No, he's fine. They're doing like a George Lenny thing, kind of. Like an Of Mice and Men dynamic. I might go with... I
didn't like... Jeff, but you liked his relationship with Miss Rhode Island.
No, I didn't like Jeff either, though. I thought he was like an undercooked character, and the performance was kind of nothing. So maybe that's my LVP.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jeff.
Yeah, you know, he got a career after this. He was on that Without a Trace on CBS.
Okay.
Anybody ever see that?
No, I don't think anybody.
It was a procedural. Come on, it was like CSI. It was like in the wake of CSI when like every show was about forensic investigators.